But you know how when you make plans, they never ever turn out exactly as you expect? Well, that's kind of how this kind of went down today. Bob and I were planning to hit a couple of older shops, you know, just to sort of branch out a different direction with the saw hobby and see if you can find places to go that are interesting and have interesting stuff, interesting people, whatever. And the focus was old McCullochs, and that's because we're trying to set ourselves up to do a get-together with that as a theme. So he had a friend that was a McCulloch dealer at one point, or at least the family was, and I've been trying to get Bob and trying to find time myself to go over to another old dealership in Maryland, New York. It's called Bob's Lawnmower Repair, and we've just never had time. So we decided, you know, let's just make it happen. It's a rainy day. I took the day off from work, probably a good thing based on the weather that's coming in. And we figured, let's go hit the first one down by Bob, and then the guy up in Maryland, New York second. Now this was after a couple of phone calls where both the dealers tried to make themselves unavailable, I think, because Bob's lawnmower service, he wasn't available until the afternoon, and the other fellow wasn't available until the morning, you know. So we inverted our schedule because we were going to start out with Bob's lawnmower service first and then go down to the other fellow. Anyway, so we're going back and forth with plans and kind of nailed down what we were going to do, and I launched off. I get to the first fella, and that's a story in of itself. I think I'm going to put some of that in the video. Believe it or not, this is in the middle of winter in central New York. It's January in 2018, and Bob and I are going to do a little bit of a left turn on the video channel and go back in history. That's what we're going to try to do this next couple of videos. And we had done that one video with the big old Homolites, and there was a McCulloch mixed in there. We're going to do some more like that. And one of the twists and turns that kind of dawned on us is there are some of these dealers that have been around for a very long time. And you know, I had done a dealer profile of the cutting edge at Bob's place, but finding dealers and finding sources of parts for the old saws is tougher and tougher to do. So, you know, Bob and I decided, you know, let's go. We know of a couple. He knows of one, and I know of one. Let's go visit these people and see if they're still around. The one we're going to visit today, I haven't been out there in 10 years. I don't know what I'm going to find. And he had been a source of parts for me when I was building the old McCullochs and the old Homolites that I used 10, 15 years ago. Kind of your typical central New York town, you know. Again, a lot of these places had their economic roots in the agricultural community. And this place here has got a couple little machine shops, so there's still some of that around. And there's a lot of small manufacturing type operations historically that came from around here. We just went past a bunch of farms, and they're mostly in the business of selling cows and a couple of dairies, but mostly beef farms. And you know, this area, as I had said before, was called the leather stocking area. That's what they call themselves, because the primary agricultural product for, you know, the area has been historically livestock relative to cattle. And you know, part of the reason is the terrain. Part of the reason is because of the weather. It would be very hard to compete with the large Midwestern and Western farms on things like wheat and, you know, just basically the grains and crop farming. It's hard. So really what's left, and what's left is a value add, taking that grain and what you can produce here and graze it and turn it into beef, turn it into milk. And that's what they've done here for a long time. Now the town I'm trying to get to is Andes, New York. Well, this is called GPS hell. It says I'm 2 miles from my destination, but I've got to go back on this back road. You know, on the highway, we always make fun of the guys we see on these back seasonal roads being brought there by their GPS. Well, here I am, a highway guy on somebody else's back road. Caught the same scenario. This is GPS hell. As par for the course, things didn't work out as I expected. Fellow who was supposed to meet us at his place called Bob and said he couldn't be there. So after the trek through the mud and the woods, I landed at this guy's garage, and he kind of walked out and said, yeah, no, I called Bob and said I wasn't going to be available today. So I called Bob, and he's like up in Oriental already. He's like, where the hell are you? I've been trying to call you all morning. Of course, I can't hear with a damn, so I wouldn't hear even if I did, even if the phone did ring, I probably wouldn't have heard it. So he's up in Oriental a little bit miffed, because he's already burned up an hour or two this morning that he didn't have to burn. And miscommunication at its best. So I'm headed north as fast as I can. And I didn't put it on film, but I've got 2 scores in the back of the truck. I got a McCulloch 650 and a carcass for an 81. You know, both of them probably need to be rebuilt from the inside out, but part of the goal today was raw material, and I'll show that when we get up here a little ways. Just outside of Delhi on whatever the county road 10 is. Get a little bit of scenery here. Just imagine if this was a sunny day. See horses and cows in the same pasture. Boy, look at this area. Beautiful country. Just imagine if this was a summer day. Sun shining.
Turn left.
Maryland, New York. Let me see if I can find this place.
Easier to be. Find out why U.S. News and World ranks ASU in the top 1% of the nation for online.
Well, I didn't plan on going fishing today.
What you see here is sort of a time kill. We didn't really plan on being at the Skenavis Creek Public Fishing Stream today.
But here we are.
I wanted to visit a couple of dealers, a couple of old dealers. And anytime we do any of these meetup somewhere events, it's always a freaking disaster.
I don't think it's a disaster.
And it's actually not Walt's fault this time.
First time for everything, right?
That we have.
I've learned a long time ago in my household, it's either Walt or the dog.
Yeah, it's not Walt's fault this time that we ended up here. At least the rain stopped.
For now.
Yeah, for now. We wanted to visit, we all could decide, we wanted to visit 2 different dealers today. All McCulloch and Homelight dealers. And it was like visit dealer A and then go to lunch and then visit dealer B. Well, dealer A said, well, I'm not going to be around in the morning. So we had to flip it around. Then dealer B called me and said, well, I'm not going to be there this morning. So the whole thing's a little screwed up. We finally met up here at this key point. And, we're not doing any more of these meet somewhere deals because these things just never work.
I don't know. It worked.
We'll keep it working, but we've still got another deal to go to.
Yeah.
We're killing an hour here because he's not back from lunch or whatever until 1:30.
So I picked up those 2 things at the first dealer. He actually showed up. You know what the funny thing was, Bob? Is you ever, well, you don't work for a highway. I work for a highway. So every time you're in the back roads, in the middle of nowhere, and you see some obviously out of state or out of area car go cruising by these roads, you're thinking, Well, that was a GPS screw up. And the funny thing is, the address that you gave me, where it said you are here, it was about 3 miles off of any road.
Wow.
But
I'm stopping at Jay's on the way home.
yeah. Oh, I got some of this stuff. I don't know if this is of interest to anybody, but look at this thing. We're going to put it into one of Matt's saws and see if he can kill it. He kills everything.
Yeah, Matt can do that.
So this is kind of a mecca for the old saws. And this Bob's lawnmower service, and we were fortunate enough to catch him while he's here. Pioneer chainsaws. Oh man, Bob and Bob.
Bob and Bob, huh?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff here, Bob.
Yeah, I know. These are those brick-looking things you're talking about. I got one of those.
You know, I've never run one. I don't even know what they're like. 610s. What's this one right here? That's a nice looking saw right there.
Ah. Oh, what did I send you? The white one or the black one?
That's a Promax 700. I believe.
Well, there's a lot of stuff here.
Okay, I sent you the white one. Probably the best thing you could do
It's a 700 or a
is
Double
put
eagle or something
another
like that.
housing on. Let me get the book out here. Just a minute.
Wow.
Okay, and this is 122, number 20.
You know, it's a bunch of saws. I'm going to take this one right here. See what I can do with this.
Hey, Happy New Year to you. How you doing? Well, I've got to go to the guru here. Again, yes. I cannot find the illustrated parts list on that bugger. He wants the clutch side cover. That's it. All right. Just push the door up. The cover that covers up everything. And it's called a clutch cover, yeah.
Wow. How many times have we said wow today, Bob? Looking for a big old Homelite. The old gear drive I have has got that pintail stuff. It's like
pintail?
It's like a
It's
half
all right.
inch. Yeah.
You got a lot of half?
No, you know something? I have half-inch loops.
650, you said.
I have a 650 and a
Yeah.
660.
HIJKLMM. 650. Here we are. 3863 404. That's what it takes.
Okay. So you basically make your own carb kits.
This one. And this is what the finished product looks like. And here's the one next to the fulcrum lever. This is the metering lever on the pump side, on the metering side. And when I first started, I put the washer on the wrong side because it has to go with this up like that, and I was putting them like that. So I ruined one or two, whatever it was. So now I'm very cognizant of putting this washer on that side, so the fuel and the air comes like that. And there's your 3/32 hole. And yes, it works quite nice. And then the go-karts, they have their own diaphragm. Okay, you want one of these, yeah.
Yep.
That's the one that has the valve in it that is in the top fuel tank, the cover of your big saw that you just brought in, the same valves inside. Okay, here's your pump. And there's your whole kit. The gaskets here. And of course the gasket goes on first.
Yep. What I've been doing is I video when I take it apart, so I know how to put it back together.
Okay, there's that. And then I had a few gaskets made for
No kidding.
for these here.
So this is basically what I need for a rebuild kit.
That is correct.
Awesome.
After a while, I was kind of like, all right, just be my usual goofy self when he's got it on.
That's what works the best, is when you're your goofy self.
Who made that Pro-Quip chain?
McCulloch.
They did?
Yeah.
Now they made their own chain in their own
Yeah,
factory?
so they say. It's
Yeah.
there. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, there isn't.
You know,
Thank you.
yeah, there you go. Thank you. What kind of grinder you got?
We gave it away. We hand file. Yeah, we do. I said that the amount of chains that we sharpen, it just doesn't matter, because we really don't do that much.
When I-88 came through here, Steel had the saw business. I had the sharpening business. 20 to 22 chains every morning came in here on the foreman.
Yeah. You see, that's a different scale from what we're doing.
Nothing like that anymore.
Heading south, huh?
Yep.
So the storm has started, starting with rain, and over the next 6 or 7 hours it's supposed to drop. Right now it's like 57 degrees. It's going to drop down into the teens. So it's raining hard right now, and when those temperatures drop down into the teens, this is going to be pretty nasty. So I need to get home. that was Bob's lawnmower service. I ended up getting a bar and chain for my 660. I ended up with a 700 series McCulloch from there for a project saw. Seems like it's got compression, it's mostly complete. I wanted to buy stuff, and he's like, you know something? You take that saw apart and make a list of what you need, then come back and buy parts. Bob wasn't going to let me just spend my money, which I found was interesting. But what I figured out pretty quick is he is all about phone call online sales. That's what he's about. That's what he does. That's what he likes to do. He likes having the conversations. So, you folks watching this video looking for old McCulloch parts, I don't know, hopefully the video will give you a little bit of a sense that he probably is the place to buy old McCulloch parts from, and home light. From what I understand, he actually had bought out the Canadian McCulloch distributor. You get in there and start having a conversation, well, you better plan to spend some time, because there's a lot of knowledge there, a lot of good stories, and a lot of good parts.